Hello, 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 everybody. This is Barbara Ling, and I am here at the Perking Up Profit Show number 6, where we are having the Backstage Pass with Dennis Becker.
That's me.
Hey there, Dennis. And the title is Profiting from Events. And I see an awful lot of familiar people here. There's Candy and Jillian, Andrea, who is not there, supposedly. It's a very cute thing to write, Andrea. And over here in New Jersey, it's a beautiful sunny day. How's things over where you folks are? As always, there are shows extremely interactive, so whatever it is that you'd like to say, Dennis and I, we would love to hear. Candy reports that it's humid wherever she is. I hope it gets better there. I hear we're supposed to have rain down here. And let me now check. Oh, she's in Florida. Cool. Well, it's now after 2 o'clock. And looks like their folks are still pouring into the room. But let us now begin. Now, for the folks who are here new for our Perking Up Profit show, you might wonder, well, who am I and why am I here to present and what makes me qualified along with our guests? Well, I'm Barbara Ling. I've been an online marketer now since 1997. You name it. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Yeah, during that time I did manage to obtain my black belt, and there's a picture of me from that in Goju Karate. And now when it comes to marketing, I think we've all heard about marketing events, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that is always mentioned, marketing events, they're life-changing. They're career-changing. And you know something, until you actually get to these wonderful thingies, you might say to yourself, my gosh, I mean, how can that really be true? But what you discover and what you experience, and this has been my history as well, what I've experienced, it really is true. And at every single event and conference that I have attended, you know, every one of my goals, they've been achieved. But even more so, prior to going to these events and prior to getting known by the big name marketers, well, you know, I managed to get myself out there in front of people. So the first event that I attended, people knew who I was. And some of the techniques that I've used, these are some of the things that I am going to be sharing. And then also when we progress to the later slides here, Dennis will have other fantastic insights as well, because he's one of the people who actually walks the walk and puts these great events on. Speaking of which, Dennis Becker, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Oh, wow. Thanks, Barb. Nice to be here. And like you, I'm in New Jersey, so like you, I have a very beautiful, sunny, not so humid day here today.
You're fading out a bit. If you could just speak a bit closer.
Well, I have a headset on, so I don't know.
Okay, continue.
Am I still fading out?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a nice sunny day here in New Jersey, and I'm looking forward to a nice weekend. We've had a lot of rain here lately, but that'll change. The weather changes, and so do IM events. But yeah, I'm the founder of Earn 1K a Day, but that's not my real background. I mean, that was a secondary thing after I created my $5 a day ebook, and things have happened since, and a lot of it had to do with the book, and a lot of it had to do with building relationships with people, and to some degree going to events. The slide here says I'm an entrepreneur now in my 4th career. Well, I had a job at one time, and that was fun. I was a programmer back in the 1970s and 80s, well, 1970s, I guess. In 1980, 81 actually, I went out on my own and started a little consulting company for a software product that I had worked with at my job. And I did that for like 8 years, and I then decided that I needed to slow down and stop flying around places and start raising a family. And I opened up a retail store. And that was a lot of fun too, except that it took me from having money in the bank to having no money in the bank, and then some. So I decided that I needed to really get into the online arena. And long story short, I started learning how to do this internet marketing thingy, and it didn't work out so well at first, but now it is. And I like to bring people together at events and to go to events and meet people that are doing this thing and doing it successfully, and that's where I am now. So that's my fourth career.
Excellent.
So, and that's probably going to be my last career. I'm getting to the age where I got the gray hair and then the bald spot in the back and all that. and I love what I'm doing anyway, so I don't want to do anything else. I don't lust for anything more than what I have now. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Very good. Alrighty, so in today's show, Dennis and I are going to be sharing with you some rather fascinating, interesting, and extraordinarily profitable tips and techniques that you are going to be able to take at the end of the show and start applying right when it closes. I mean, how good is that, right? So with that, let me talk a bit about some of the main key things about attending events. Now, first off, let me get a feel for the audience here. How many people here have actually attended a marketing event? Okay, raise your hands. Well, all right, you can put your hands down since I really can't see them, but you can answer, you can type in under the questions who has attended events. Okay, Andrea has attended events, and which events were they? Adrian has gone, and Richard has gone, Larry has gone, Sue has not. Okay. Let me tell you what the thing is about attending events. It's not solely the presentations, and this is something that I learned towards the end of the first event. I mean, nobody had ever told me this before, and my gosh, if I had known it. Wow, things might have been a bit different, but it's not about the presentations. Yes, presentations are excellent, all right? Don't get me wrong. People are going to be sharing tremendous quality information that you are going to be able to put into practice when you get home from the event, you see. But it goes way beyond that, all right? Events, the benefit for events, my gosh, it is the networking and the connections, but not solely the networking connections that you get when you're in the rooms, of course. We're talking about things like breakfasts. Like, for example, every morning of a marketing event, obviously, people generally they do eat breakfast, and they'll gather at the hotel restaurant, or they'll walk to Denny's, which is next door or so, and people will ask one another, well, what are you doing for breakfast? What are you doing for lunch? And it's a great opportunity to meet and greet and talk with people that you wouldn't get an opportunity to in any other situation. Here's another thing, and this, I personally chose not to believe this my first three events. Clubbing at night. Now, when you think about clubbing at night, you think, oh my gosh, or at least this is what I did, and this is why I was so incredibly incorrect about this. What is the big deal about going out and going to a club at night or going to a dance party at night? And so the first three, I never went, but the fourth one, I made a promise to myself, yes, I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to hang out with people. And, well, I hung out with Ben Atkins. I hung out with Omar Martin. I hung out with Valerie. I hung out with rather powerful individuals. But beyond that, these people and other people, they got to know me as not just a marketer, but also as a friend. And I got to know them the same way in return. And there's events in Vegas. Well, Vegas, what's Vegas known for? Well, Vegas is known for many things, and one of them, of course, is the Vegas buffets or buffets. Well, how do you get to these Vegas events, buffets? A lot of times people will put together party vans. And as a matter of fact, the event that's happening in July, which is Dennis's event, we're already scheduling a party van where we all get together. We have a fun time. We get to go beyond the marketer connection, beyond the affiliate connection, beyond the, hello there, I'm having a product launch, don't you want to promote my stuff, to, hey, we're cool people, we're fun people, we're people who care about one another, we're people who want to help each other out. That's the thing, people. That's the thing about attending events. It is not solely all of the goodness that you get marketing knowledge-wise, and it's not even about the connections you make. It's about the quality of those connections. It's something that really money cannot buy. Okay? So, let's talk for a moment a wee bit about the business factor. I just mentioned the business factor. It's not so much who you know, all right? It's more of the importance of who knows you. Think about this, okay? We have a large number of product creators in the audience here today, okay? And when you decide that you want to reach out to an affiliate to promote your stuff, isn't it kind of sort of more important that they already know who you are before you approach them? And this is really important, especially in today's social media business. It's not who you know all the time. It's also who knows you. So when you do connect with them, the deck is already stacked. It's stacked in your favor. That's why you want to learn about events. That's why you want to learn about marketing conferences or any conference within your niche. These events, they give you opportunities you ain't gonna find any other way, and opportunities literally you just could not pay for right now. So, question so far?
Let me jump in, Barb, if
Sure.
you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Back a slide ago, you mentioned that it's not about the presentations, and it's not. I've seen people that have gone to events and they haven't sat in on a single presentation. They're just there to relate to people, to interact with people, to build relationships, to ask questions, to go out clubbing or whatever. I'm not a big clubber, but I may want to if I don't get totally exhausted with the next one. But those are opportunities, like you said, that you couldn't pay for. Now I remember, I think the first one that you were at. I didn't know you at the time, Barb, but it was at the Warrior event.
Yes, it was my first event.
Was that your first event?
That was my first event.
Or was that 2012? I don't know.
2012 in May.
Yeah, May. It might have been before that. And the reason I know that is because I was a speaker at that one, and it was a Saturday-Sunday event. And Saturday or Sunday morning was the time when daylight savings time was going into effect. So it had to be either probably in March or April.
Oh, yes, you're right. May was when my coaching first started, but continue.
I remember I had a cold, so I couldn't go out that night, at night with the people. And Dr. Ben and a few others, and my partner at the time, Rachel, they went out and they stayed out till like 5 a.m. in the morning. And then people were supposed to set their clocks forward, so they were going to lose an hour's sleep. Well, I was the first person on the agenda for Sunday morning, and you can probably guess how many people showed up for my talk, even though the people that were running the seminar, the event, were kind enough to make me stand around waiting for people to come in.
I remember that.
And you were in the front row, and
yep.
I remember that. And you were laughing at my jokes, as horrible as they were, because I wasn't feeling so well. And I remember that. And when time came in the future for you to ask me to do you a favor, and and I wasn't shy to ask you for doing me a favor in return. We had a relationship because of that. Because you sat in the front row, and not too many people had been in the room, and you smiled and all that, and those are the kind of things, like I say, you couldn't pay for. So we started a friendship there, and you ended up speaking at my event that year. That year, and like you say, it's not who you know, but who knows you. And so going to the presentations isn't really the be-all, end-all about an event, because typically you can get the recordings, but you might want to be there anyway, because things are going to happen that you don't know about.
Definitely true. Definitely true.
If you're not there, you're not there. And and then you can also look at it like, well, why should I go if I can buy the recordings for, just a very small amount of money? Why should I pay airfare and hotel rooms and take 3 days out of my life or 4 days out of my life to go somewhere and buy the seminar seat? Well, because of the fact that it isn't all about the information that's shared. That's only a little bit in context of the whole opportunity that you're going to be thrown away if you aren't there. There's so many people that I've met at events that have really given me opportunities that I couldn't have paid $50,000 for if it was even available. It's just.
Definitely agree. And one of the things Dennis mentioned, this is a habit of mine, and it's a very good habit into which to get whenever you attend events. It's always wise to stand out. I choose 2 ways of standing out. I always sit in the front, and I always make sure that I am one of the first people to show up in the morning. I'm a morning person. People remember that. And what I also remember when I went to the Mario event a couple months ago, during one of the days where, people were just showing up late, but good old Barb Ling, always there in the morning, and it was something that Mario noticed. And when the people who are giving events notice, they notice who's there. It makes a connection because you're showing the interest that you have in the people who are presenting. And that is, yes, an excellent takeaway tip. So, let me now ask you, all right, and this is, again, thinking about the future. Let's say that you actually do decide between now and the end of the year to attend a marketing event. Ask yourself, okay, whatever the marketing business that you're currently in now, how much more profit do you think you'd be bringing in if the people who could make or break you, they liked you, they knew about you, they trusted you, they promoted you? I mean, are we talking an additional $100 a week? Are we talking an additional $700? Are we talking more than $1,000? Are we talking getting yourself out of the level you currently are now? And I want you to make a mental note here, because I'm going to be addressing this later on. We are halfway through 2013. Are you currently on the path you had planned at the beginning of the year? So, with that as an introduction, it is time for our favorite games. And again, remember, interactive. So, true, or dare I ask false? You can find coaches at events. True or false? You got some true, smile, true, I hope, true, and, well, of course, the answer is obviously true, but there's one thing you want to consider as well. A lot of times you will find extraordinarily high-quality coaches. So, for example, I know that Brad Goss, at the first marketing event that I attended, the Warrior Forum, he told the audience about his coaching and then offered a deal on said coaching. So a lot of times the people who are presenting will offer at a special price as well. More on that later. True or false? You got the first one real easy. Let's see if I can stump you with this. Okay, given the fact we just spent the past 10 minutes talking about this, there's a high possibility I can't, but let me ask it anyway. The best networking happens outside of the presentation. It's astonishing. The truths are flying off the screen there, and of course that is totally true because it is the personal touch, the people who are going to remember you. All right. Let's see. True or false? Oh, I had a fun time preparing this slide. Never, ever approach a power marketer and say, hey there, this is how you are going to help me. True or false? See, we're even getting phone calls in. Okay, true, and yeah, but would you believe this? This happened to me. It happened to me at the Las Vegas event. I'll never, ever forget this, okay? I was sitting there at the lobby. I was waiting for some of my colleagues to come by, and this individual came and sat down next to me and introduced himself, and I made sure to blank it out, so I have no idea who this person is now. I did remember for at least the first 2.7 minutes. And the way he introduced himself was basically, hello there, Barbara. I am so-and-so, and look, I just happen to have my laptop with me, and I'm going to show you now how you are going to help me marketing. Couldn't believe it. I mean, if you were to go to a school for the utter worst ways to make a first impression, I doubt if you could have done better than this guy, whose name I chose to forget. And remember that. When you make a bad impression, the best you can hope for is they choose to forget about you. The worst you can hope for is they start to blog about you by name. So always, always, always. Professionalism, courtesy, you don't do it. You don't do it that way. And Andrea just reminded me of her lead-in first impression sentence, and this was what she said to me, was, I'm going to be your best student. And so, yeah, I have not forgotten that at all, and she's fast certainly coming up. She's delivering on her promise. So, with all of that as an introduction, let's go over what you are going to learn. First, we're going to talk about how you can maximize your event, the dream connections, because remember, we all are out for a certain special person at an event, right? As a matter of fact, let me ask all of you, who is the most important person at an event? Thank you, dear. Honorable daughter 2 just said mom, and well, yes, for her that would be it. But yes, who's the most important person? Let me hear some answers. A smiley face is cool, but is not the answer. Larry has it right. Me, number 1. Whenever you go to an event, the most important person, well, it's for you. You want to get the most benefit. Of course, the way you get the most benefit is by you operate so that other people benefit from you there. But first and foremost, you want to maximize the benefits of events for you. And what I am going to show you, oh, wow, nice, nice, nice. Okay, then I'm going to talk about the number 1 tactic that, and forgive me for using the word rock star. I mean, I'd love to use the word mathematician or entrepreneur or innovator, but yeah, people like using the word rock star. So yeah, this tactic, guaranteed, it will make you stand out. Guaranteed. And then I'm going to zoom into some instant focus generators and then close with the guaranteed way that you can walk away with a coach that you specifically want to take you to your next level. So, what you're going to want to do right now, so I hope you are all ready with your fingers on your mobile buttons and such. Silence your mobile phone. And yes, I'm sorry, but you must pause Facebook, you must pause Skype, unless, of course, you want to share with everybody, learning great stuff from Dennis Becker, Barb Link today at Perking Up Profits. Open that notepad file, unless you happen to have, does anybody here actually have a notebook with, get this, paper and a pen? That works as well, too, because you're going to want to take notes. People contact you, sorry, not now, you're busy, because remember, we're doing massive focus time because the stuff you're going to learn here, it literally is going to change the way you can do business. And of course, my promise to you, it always is the same for every show, and it's going to be the same for this one as well. So stay with me now to the very end, because this show, this class, what you're going to notice, I mean, up until I say goodbye, you're going to get quality information. Dennis and I, we're going to be sharing with you our experiences. But not only the experiences or so, let me tell you that at the end of this presentation, what we are going to share with you It is going to pump you up so much that when you are considering, hey, if I want to attend an event, you are going to want to get to the Las Vegas event that is happening next July. So here you go, fully transparent. I always believe in letting you know. You are going to get quality, fantastic, actionable ideas, tips, techniques, and in return, at the end, you're going to listen to something that is also has the ability to be life-changing for you for 2013. So do we have a deal? All right, I need to see some yeses scrolling through the screen here. I mean, does this sound like an excellent, excellent win-win? Okay, Jillian says yes. Kathy says yes. Everybody is scrolling through. My daughter just said yes, so all righty. First things first, okay? The ideas that I am going to be sharing with you and the ideas that Dennis is going to be sharing with you, okay, these work. You're not getting theory here, folks. You are getting proven techniques and ideas, and we are going to be sharing them all with you. For me personally, well, you know, I attended 5 events. The one in July is going to be my 6th event. My first event, I decided I am going to walk away with the coach that was best for me. And you know something? I did. The second event, I ended up speaking at the second event. Third event, made excellent business connections that helped take my business to the next level. And the last event that I went to, that was the Mario event. You might have noticed there's been a wee bit of a increase in the way I am putting myself out online. You might have noticed when you signed up to attend this show, you went through a really neat process through a product called Lead Pages to sign up for the webinar and such. I learned that at Mario. I learned other techniques at Mario. I learned some of the presentation that I'm doing for my classes at Mario's events. This is takeaway stuff, and this is stuff that you are going to be able to do as well. So Dennis, now, what are some of your first things you'd like to share?
Oh, boy. I was just thinking, Barb, and I hope and I doubt that he'll be watching this webinar, but I remember the first Earn 1K a Day event that I put on, which was back in 2009, I think it was. It was in Orlando, and I was so naive at the time that I thought that I should wear a suit and a tie at every session. I learned quickly that I was the only one in the room with a suit and a tie on, and that's all I packed my suitcase. But there's a guy in the back of the room, and you may have heard of him, most of you, by the name of Will Matos. He's fairly famous now. He was at the event, and he was just sitting in the audience, and he was a member of Earn 1K a Day, so I sort of knew him, but he and I talked a little bit afterwards, and he was sort of inspired from the event by listening to things, and he went back to his regular job, which he had then, and he started putting together a little software package. And I helped him promote that in the forum, and things sort of took off. He thought it was pretty cool that he could put up a sales page for a product and make $5 at a time or $7 at a time. Okay, so time went on, and we got to the point of planning for the second Earn 1K a Day event, which was in 2010 then, and he asked me if he could be a speaker. So I said, sure. And he spoke, and Jason Fladlin was also there at the event, and he was speaking for me.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, people have probably heard of him too. And we were in a conference room. There was about 8 or 10 of us before the event, and Jason was ranting about this product that he had saw that he loved, and for some reason the person wasn't allowing it to be sold except during certain hours of the day, and Jason wanted to buy it. He just got so frustrated and annoyed. He said, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they won't sell it to me. And the story was Will went up to Jason during the break, and he said, you know what, Jason, I could probably code that product for you, because Will was pretty
savvy,
genius as far as coding with PHP or whatever languages. So Jason said, sure, do it. And they put together that as a product. And shortly after that, it did so well that ended up being WP Twin, which has sold, I don't know,
Oh,
how many
wow.
thousands of copies. I know I've got reseller rights myself, and I've sold over 2,000 copies myself. So,
Oh.
so that was pretty good. And with that success and with an obvious rapport between the two of them, they went on to put together Rapid Crush, which is now a 7-figure, going on to be soon probably an 8-figure company.
Wow.
That all started with one of our events. So that is the FTC would require us to say that's not typical, but that's the kind of things that can happen. And it was just a matter of being in the room and listening to people and what they say, and not being so introverted that you're not afraid to go up to somebody and say, hey, I can help you. How can we make this happen? And Will did that with Jason. And Jason said, sure, I'll give you a chance. Show me what you got, kid. Not a kid because Will's older than Jason, but things went on from there. So
Cool.
I've made a lot of great connections at events also. I mean, I spend money to get there. They're the ones that aren't my own. I mean, I spend money to get my own too. But the ones that aren't my own, I really go in there, planning to not go there for the information I'm going to learn, because I could learn it from watching the recordings afterwards, like I mentioned before. But knowing that the people that are there and the room are just going to be so vibrant. You're taking you're getting an opportunity to get your mind opened up. You're going to recharge. You may not sleep much that week, but your mind is still going to be in a space where things are going to happen.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Hold on. You can keep talking for a second because I have to cough over here.
Go right ahead. But
That is my melodic cough.
I've never been to an event where I didn't look back 2 months later and say, man, that was awesome. That was, to an extent, life-changing. I mean, life-changing is sort of trite to hear and say, but there have been some that I really can contribute to future greatness.
Cool.
Based on being there.
Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis, for sharing that, and also for talking while I just expired over here, but we're back together there. So, yes. What Dennis has shared and I have shared, again, we both were beginners when all of this started. As Dennis shared, yeah, he didn't start holding events right as the expert presenter that he is now. And my gosh, when I started attending events, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Especially the issue, and I think Dennis, you haven't had this issue as well too. Both of us were really at heart quite shy, and at least especially when we were starting out. And for me personally, the way that I fixed this, it was taking into account something that was very, 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 very important. Now, tell me, of all of the audience here, is anybody at all shy, or are we all a crowd of go-getters? We're going to put ourselves out. We're going to say, hey, here am I. Take a look at me. Let's see. We got shy people here posting. Shy. Okay. Yep. A lot of you can relate to this. Well, here's how I got over it, okay? And here's something that I want you now to write down in Notepad. You see, the way I got over this, I realized that I personally owned my future. And what do I mean by that? Well, if I wanted my life to change, the only person who would do it was me. I mean, sure, I had my support people. I have my husband, I have my kids, I have my mooses and my Twitter budgies and all of that. But when it comes to business, the only person who could change my future, it's me. I owned my success. I owned my failure. Nobody would make me a success. Nobody would make me a failure. It was me. But when I chose to take control, I got over this rather important killer aspect. You know, when you give in to fear, when you label yourself shy, I am not going to go out there, what happens to your business? Does your business grow? Does your business deliver to you the kind of profits, the kind of reputation that you deserve? I'll give you a hint as to what the answer is. And now this is going to be a very complicated question, but the answer, it is one word with two letters, and the first one was N, and the second one is O. No, business doesn't grow. Your business kind of sort of like slumps along and like a fossilized clam, and nothing kind of sort of happens. So for me personally, well, you know, I chose courage. I chose taking control. And you know something? All shy people, all people actually, we all have our inner heroes. We all have the ability to give into the courage we have within us. But giving ourselves permission to do that, you know, that's the thing, okay? One of the best things, though, about events when you find yourself there, you discover, you know, yeah, they really are. They really are life-changing, because when you're at an event, you have the opportunity to go out there and take not only your business but yourself, to take yourself to the next level. And honestly now, ask yourself, wouldn't business, your business, be so much better when you are on the next level, when you have succeeded and you're looking ahead, you're looking to the future, you've achieved those milestones? I mean, wouldn't your business be better? Let me hear. Do you agree? If you agree, right? Yes. True. Okay, we see some yeses and trues. Indeed. You know something? All it takes is simply one spark that ignites you. And when you choose to go to the right event, that spark there, it happens. And it's something that literally can change your entire business and your entire career. So with that as our introduction, let's jump into the meat of this class and show. And oh wow, you are going to love what I am about to show you here. Are you ready? I want to see some readies here because this was such a thrill for me to write this morning. I see some readies coming across. All right. Thank you, dear. That was Honorable Daughter 2 as well. Okay, step by step. And I'm going to show you this, all right? Here's how you maximize your event dream connections, and I hope you are taking notes here. What you do, you go to the event page, okay? And if we're going to do this in real time, let me show you for an example here. Ask.com and E1K 2013. It helps if I spell it right. Hold on. E1K 2013. Okay. Everybody visit that page right now as I'm going through this. And you're going to be able to check out the speaker list. Okay? So you're checking out the speaker list. But what you can do via that speaker list, you find all of the pages and all of the profiles of the speaker list, and then you go to this link over here. Facebook.com ad list. Okay? And when you're at that ad list, you can then create something. I believe this is a shortened URL. Visit this page right here. Let me now switch the presentation over here. Let me go to Home. And notice how I have Mario Brown San Diego event over here. Let me go to the E1K 2013 list here. Every speaker, okay, that is at this particular event, I have added to this list. So now when I want to know what is every speaker doing before the event, I can click on this link, and it is a shareable link as well. So it's public. You guys can bookmark this, and I will see what are all of the speakers doing. Now, Think to yourself here, folks, and this is important. People want to know, how do they get to be known by the marketers, by the power speakers at events? This is how you do it. You see what they're doing, what they are sharing. You connect on their pages. You like their comments. You engage them in conversation. And you do this starting a month before the event, because the Earn 1K Day event, this is going to happen in about 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks, Dennis, next month, right?
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks or so?
Yep.
Guaranteed. I mean, so now here, we have Ben Atkins, who's going to be a speaker. He's providing a webinar with another individual there that you can sign up to. You can engage him on it. You can talk about it. And when you are at the Earn 1K Day event, you can say, hey, Ben, I was on your webinar. Great information. You have an icebreaker. You have a way now to connect with the people that you want to notice you. Okay? And this now, for example, the Mario Brown event, I do this now every single event that I attend. And so, yeah, you better be certain that when I go to these events, people know me because I comment on their profiles. I comment on what they're doing. Barb Ling puts yourself out there. But the beautiful thing about this, which is why I was so excited to have this event, to have this show, is I am not speaking on a phone. It's not yet one-on-one. This is done all through Facebook. There's no fear at all. You're simply commenting. You're simply being a fan. You're simply getting yourself known. So let me now switch back to our class here. Guaranteed way. This is how you can get to be known by all of the power speakers that are at events that you choose to attend. You network. In that page I just showed you, I've included the Facebook pages of the speakers. I've included the speakers themselves. You can proactively go out and do this yourself as well. Think about this here. Right now, light bulbs should be just flashing over everybody's head here. It enables you to get known before the event. This is something, this is gold. This really is, I cannot emphasize enough how powerful this technique is. And this is a technique that you can do right after this show closes. I mean, am I delivering now on our promise to give you actionable techniques? I have yet to see anybody except myself do something like this. And you've heard it here first now. This is my secret. This is how people get to know me. This is how I get to be known by folks on the next level. Ready. That was one particular excellent way. Let me now talk to you about our favorite term, the tactic that gets you mathematician / rock star memorable. And what I'm about to share with you, this is what I did at the Mario event. Okay? You want to decide what do you want people to ask you. And I will share with you where I found this idea after I reveal it to you. If anybody has a hint, feel free to share it in the questions here. So, what do you want people to ask you? I decided I wanted people to ask me about their future. Okay? So, ask me to tell you your future. You make a t-shirt about it. And then at the event, you wear that t-shirt. I'm not telling you to go out and make a full-blown graphics design. You can do simple letters on the back of a shirt. This was something that I first saw from Colin Therio at the Mario, no, not the Mario event, the event before the Mario event, because I had mine at the Mario event. Yes. And all his t-shirt said was, ask me about my cult. Because he runs Cult of Copy, which is http://cultofcopy.com, excellent group for copywriters. I saw that, and I said, my gosh, that was brilliant. My gosh, I'm going to do it. What's the takeaway? Okay, well, you know, the takeaway, people then come up to you and say, hey, tell me your future or so. And let me show you this. There I am at the Mario event. Ask me about your future. That's the black shirt, and that's the red shirt. 2 days, I wore 2 different shirts. You always want to wear them in 2 different colors so people know that you actually change your clothing every day or such. And again, it doesn't have to be massively graphicized or so. Andrea just mentioned, hey, you could just use a Sharpie, write it at the event, and yeah, handwritten. So this is another way that you can compel people to come up to you. They break the ice coming up to you. Questions so far, such? And yeah, it's highly, highly effective. While you're wearing your shirt, you could do a Google Hangouts with it. You can take a mobile video with it. I did that when I was at the hotel gym, and so it works beautifully. So let's now move on to instant focus generators. Can anybody guess what the instant focus generator is? And ignore the fact that I'm already starting to lead into it. Okay. Think about and choose something that only you do. And yes, it could be drinking coffee, although everybody else does it. It all depends upon how you position it. But something only you do, okay? And then you post something about it. Now, for me, what is something that only I would do? Well, I would always be up at 4 a.m. because, after all, every normal person on the faces of this planet, I firmly believe, should wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. In case you didn't know, 4 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast is 7 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. So in reality, I kept getting up at 1 in the morning, and boy, did that screw up my sleep schedule. But I digress, okay? And so what I would do is I would wait till around 4, and then I would post, okay, everybody, time for breakfast. Who's joining me? And, well, not a lot of people did at 4 in the morning, but you know what the benefit is of that? I heard that on one of the webinars Jason Fladland did, he mentioned that because he saw on Facebook, I kept posting, it's 4 in the morning, where is everybody? I was standing out. And this is something that, you know, you can do as well. And then also on the event page, I believe on the Mario page, I would post that I was going to the hotel gym at 4 in the morning, or as well on my own Facebook profile. You do something that people would do a double take about, but ideally a double take that puts you in a positive light, something that is memorable, something that people would come up to you and talk about. Another thing, and this was something that I learned from Ben Atkins and Brad Spencer, you can stand out from the crowd by the type of clothing you choose to wear. So, for example, if everybody's wearing a suit, go leisurely. If everybody's going leisurely, wear a suit. What have other people done? I think that at the Warrior event, I think Judy Kay was carrying around a flower or so, one of those really nice big plushy kind of flowers, and I noticed that people were talking to her about that. You do something that makes people remember you, and it just instantly focuses their attention on you and puts you in a positive, favorable light. Hello there, Judy. Judy mentions it was a pinwheel, and she had other things as well. What else did you have there? I mean, you did definitely make an impression. By the way, folks, if you don't know Judy Kay, she's an excellent, awesome copywriter, and she spent a lot of time with me at the first event. It was the first time I'd gone to an event, and she told me a lot of excellent ideas and tips for events. And so, yeah, you basically stand out. And these are some of the ways that you can do that. Questions? Oh, Kathy mentions that wearing goodies, and Judy mentioned that she was wearing sunglasses and a watch cap. Indeed, I do remember the sunglasses. That's right. So what's your takeaway here, folks? Takeaway? You want to stand out in a positive sense. And what I am sharing here, honestly, a lot of this, it's not scary stuff. It's getting yourself known as a person that is fun to know. It's getting icebreakers out there, people proactively coming up to you if you're the one who's shy. And now, let me talk about what I would say is the guaranteed way to walk away with the coach that you want. Because, and this is something that when I went to my first Warrior event, I remember telling my husband that I am going to be setting aside a large quantity of money for me because I knew I needed to get to the next level, and where I was, I did not have the ability at that time to do it myself. And I wanted to know that I would walk away with, with the coach that would take me to my next level. And also, to give props and such, Judy just mentioned that the standing out part, as in the watch cap that she had mentioned me, came from Colin Theriot. How to make it possible for you to be pointed out by the others in the crowd. And yeah, that is true. For example, as well, Colin's hat, the way he dresses, it works beautifully. So, first thing, you want a coach, you will pay money. And you should, because it's a business investment. It is a fantastic business investment. It has been now, gosh, what? It's been over a year since I started with my first coach, and I have now 4 coaches, and worth every bit of money that I pay. So, what you can then do, post in the event page after that you have networked and such, here are my goals, and put it out there. You're thinking that you want to find a coach. This now gives you a perfect opportunity to approach the person that you want to be mentored by. But here's something, okay? It's not enough to have the $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 that you want to pay, because coaches have the right to say no. And every coach that I know, every quality coach, they're going to want to interview you as well, because the legitimate coaches, the folks who are serious about success, your success, they want to know that, well, first off, you are coachable. They want to know that, yeah, if they work with you, they will see that you are going to take ownership of your success, and you're going to go out and you're going to make it happen. So you need to come up with at least 3 reasons why somebody should consider you. And that is going to put you ahead of the thundering herd, because now it's not so much of, hey, I'm looking for a coach, you're offering to coach, take me. It's, hey, here's why you are going to believe in me. I will be your best student, and here's why. Okay? Another thing, too, that you want to keep in mind, when you approach your coaching candidates, okay, it goes both ways. You want to make sure that you can connect, because everybody has their own style. I have my own style. Dennis has his own style. Ben Atkins has his own style. Don Wilson has his own style. Colin Theriot has his own style. Everybody, Brad Goss, own style. And you want to make sure the person with whom you choose to work is the one that ignites you, that puts you on the path to success. And the person that I ended up choosing back then, that was Ben Atkins, and he is still one of my coaches today. And I made sure all of what I had shared with you, this was stuff that I've done as well. Most important, powerful takeaway, okay? This is your business future, folks. You need to honor yourself. You need to honor your future. You need to say to yourself, if I do want to come away with the coach that is going to take me to the next level, all right, I am going to make it happen. You follow the law of proaction, and you make it happen. Questions? Alrighty. Let's now recap a bit with what we've all learned. You've learned how to maximize your event, the dream connections. You visit the event page. You find out who's speaking. You create your own Facebook list about who's speaking. You make that list public. So not only can you follow, but then you can also post that list to the event page as well. I did that at the Mario event, and I will certainly look forward to see who posts this at the Earn 1K a Day event as well too. It makes people take notice. You've learned about that fantastic rockstar mathematician tactic that makes you stand out. Make a t-shirt. What do you want people to ask you? How do you want to stand out from the crowd? You've learned about how to gather positive attention by what it is that you do that nobody else does. Okay, get up at 4 in the morning or stay awake until 5 in the morning. Coffee art, which I also do in the morning. Going to the gym, making sure that you check in on the family or so. The ways that make people say, yeah, I want to learn more about this individual. And then we just finished talking about the guaranteed way that you can walk away with a coach that you specifically want. So now it's time to consider taking this one step further. All right. Now we've been talking about events. There are events this year. And the one that I am talking about right now is the one that Dennis, my guest here, is running, which is the Earn 1K a Day event. That is starting in 3 weeks. That is the event that is in Vegas, the home of the buffets or buffets and such. And as you saw the page earlier, you saw all of the speakers. But in case you decided not to follow up on creating that list while we were going through this presentation, let me list out to you who are going to be the people that you will be able to get on name basis with. I mean, we're talking the all-star lineup, including, of course, Dennis and myself, but also Dr. Ben Atkins, the Facebook genius, offline marketer. He's going to be there. Don Wilson, another Facebook marketer, six-figure launch expert, going to be there. And, you know, Don was also one of my guests in an earlier Perking Up Profit show. Jason Fladlin, I'm pretty sure we all know of his name. He just recently released a product for affiliate marketing. He's the other half of Rapid Crush, of partners with Will Matos that Dennis mentioned. And there we go, Wilson Matos. Who else is going to be there? Connie Reagan Green. She is the author of the Tiny Lists, Huge Profits, another excellent coach, goes out to all sorts of marketing events and teaches a lot about affiliate marketing, product creation. Jean's going to be there. Jean is the person who is expert on domaining, domain selling, domain flipping, anything about domains. The man knows about domains. Nicole Dean. Dennis, can you talk a bit about Nicole?
Oh, probably not, Barb. But I just met Nicole myself.
Okay.
Virtually within the last few weeks when she joined during the 1K day. But we've become friends since, and I asked her to be a speaker at the event. And Nicole has been around. She's
exactly
done some amazing things. She's done things like be affiliate manager for some of the big gurus, I believe Jimmy D. Brown and people like that. She's spoken many times at the NAMS event, Niche Affiliate Marketing System, David Perdue's site, and I've heard nothing but good things about Nicole, and I'm really anxious to meet her.
Yeah, the thing that why my ears perked up when I heard that Nicole was going to be attending is because Nicole was out there back when I started, like around 2002, 2003. I remember her name, I'm pretty sure, of the earlier years, and so I just immediately picked up, yeah. So she's going to be there. David Perdue, the guy who does MyNAMS network, which is another huge affiliate marketing network, he's going to be speaking there. Justin Popovich, he is the best quality PLR guy, and He's done product creation. My gosh, has he done product creation? And he's just known as one of the best providers in the marketing space. And keep in mind, people, these are just the speakers. And there's a lot of power marketers who are also attending that you can also network and chat up with as well. So this event, this is 3 days in Vegas where we have our networking breakfasts, ideally at 4 in the morning, although it doesn't happen. People tend to go there.
Me.
Yeah, okay, so I have breakfast twice. Okay, right. And there's the evening get-togethers, the buffets, the party bus, the shows and such. And like we mentioned, and people will just they'll gather around in the hotel lobby, or they'll talk outside the hall. It's like, yeah, let's go to this. Let's make this happen. These events, it's a huge opportunity to take your business to the next level. So how much does this cost? Well, events, they can go anywhere up, $3K more, and this is the cost just to attend, all right? To prepare for them, okay, to prepare for attending events, that price, $3K, it's cheap, given the benefits that you get, the network connections that you make, but I hate to tell you, Dennis's event, it's not $3,000, okay? So now I want you to ask yourself, how much, and putting events aside, how much would you be willing to pay to get on all of those speakers' radars, to get them to be able to connect with you so that when you do approach in the future of, hey, I have this product, I'm doing this, my own event, I'm having this hangout, would you be willing to promote? Would you be willing to be a guest? Would you be willing to take a look? I mean, how much benefit would that give your business? The increased chance of having all of these power marketers, of all of these power players promote you. How much would that be worth to you? I mean, are we talking, is that worth $1,000 for you? I mean, my gosh, it's certainly worth that for me, but, I'm sorry to tell you, getting all of this value at Dennis's event, it's not that either. Remember what I told you at the very beginning. The halfway point, folks. It's here. June 2013. Are you where you want to be? Well, are you? Ask yourself this honestly. Are you where you want to be? And if you are, that is fantastic. Are you satisfied with the way that your 2013 has been growing? If so, wonderful. But, if not, definitely think about getting on all of these power marketers' radars and think about, attending an event. And was Dennis's event to be $497? Yeah, definitely worthwhile. But again, I'm sorry, that's not the price either. So if attending a marketing event is something that appeals to you, the Earn 1K a Day that is happening in July, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to make 2013 grand, okay, to get known by everybody, to get known by all of these power speakers. And I've given you some excellent tips and ideas you can take away right now. You want to take your career to the next level. You deserve to take your career to the next level. Okay, so the Earn 1K a Day event, that's going to be in 3 weeks, $497. It's not. Okay, you can visit right now the link, askbling.com/E1K 2013. Dennis, if you could drop that into the audience, that would be grand.
Okay.
Because it is a one-time payment, $247, and of course, since we're on a Perking a Profit show, and Barb Ling is the one who's running this, there's always then the bonuses. So here are the special Barb Ling bonuses that you will get should you choose to attend via our link. First one is, I recently gave the Facebook Espresso, which is a 3-week immersion mastermind for marketers who use Facebook. And right now you can see that is at $247. That is our first benefit. First bonus, and second bonus In the past, I've also given the RSS Espresso, which back then was called RSS Jedi, which again is another 3-week package, immersion package, as far as how you can use really simple syndication to just have all of your content online. Go beyond doing single duty, double duty, triple duty, and beyond. Okay, so right now, we're talking only almost $500 worth of bonuses, and you would just have to forward to me your receipt. But what I'd mentioned, we have the link. Dennis just dropped that in, askbeatling.com/E1K2013.
I think I typed it wrong, so I'm doing it again. Sorry.
Yes, okay, you have an extra I in there. All right, but this is something also really cool. That's not all. And this is something you only hear about on the Perking Up Profit show, because I have not made this public yet. At some point, because this is currently under construction, I am doing something that will give you a lifetime membership, and of course, it's going to be the top one that's about to show up. Paid membership. You might have noticed that I am moving in and niching myself into celebrity branding and building buzz and building fan bases and getting people into your group, your page, your knowledge out there. Our group, perkingupprofits.com, there's over 1,000 people now on it, and really hasn't been out there for many weeks. I'm going to be teaching how to do this. And when this goes live, assuming you have gone through my link to attend the Earn 1K a Day event, you will get lifetime membership in this. And that's pretty freaking amazing. So, to recap, you will receive the Facebook Espresso, which is $247, the RSS Espresso, $247, paid membership of our Perking Up Profits Cafe, which I have yet even to consider pricing for that, because it's going to be a heck of a lot more than $247. So what is your next step? Visit now, askbeatling.com/E1K2013, and let's have breakfast together at Vegas. Make sure to reserve your spot now, because, and again, this is something you always need to remember, because this is honestly the most powerful secret that I could ever possibly give you. You need to follow the law of proaction, you and you alone, because when you want things to change, when you want to take your career to the next level, it's up to you. If you want it, you are the one who makes it happen. In other words, it's up to you to take control. So, questions? And this covers now our 6th Perking Up Profits show. And Dennis and I, we can be here for a while. Any questions that you have? Let
me jump in, Barb.
Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
There probably are certainly people on the call that have no interest in going to an event just to find a coach to pay, and that's fine. I mean, I never did either, and I was talking about Will Matos back in the beginning. He certainly didn't go to the first event or the second event looking for a coach, and second event looking to make a JV relationship with Jason Fladlin to produce a product, and that's fine. Barb talked about sparks, and I like to talk about aha moments. You never know when they're going to happen, and they can absolutely change everything about you, about your life, about your business, about your income, about everything. And those kind of things, you don't know when they're going to happen. They might happen when you're listening to someone give a presentation in the room, and there's going to be some dynamite speakers that we have at this event, and I'm privy to some of them. Not everyone is giving me their topic that they're going to be talking about yet, but some of them have, and I'm pretty darn excited about what I've heard so far. So you may get that aha moment when you're listening to a presentation. You may get it when you're just talking with somebody that's sitting beside you before you're waiting for the presentation to begin. You may get an aha moment when you're standing and talking at our meet and greet. We have a meet and greet cocktail hour. Whether you like cocktails or not, you can have soft drinks, but we have 4 hours of, uh, of open bar and open networking on Friday nights. Friday actually is during the day is for the Earn 1K Day event. It's a mastermind for everyone to attend, which is pretty darn awesome. We've changed some businesses there. So by the end of the day on Friday, you're pretty much exhausted. You've gone through a whole day of mastermind sessions and talking about yourself and your business and listening to other people do the same about theirs. And then you freshen up back in your hotel room for an hour, and then you go up for another 4 hours of networking and whatever in our party room. And so the sparks may come there, or they may come the next day when you're out to lunch with somebody, or as Barb mentioned on the party bus, getting ready to go to the buffet. But guaranteed, you're going to have some aha moments when you go to an event. Now, whether it's my event or somebody else's, I don't care. I
Agreed.
would like to see you come to mine, because I'd like to think we have a lot going for us. But even if you can't afford to go away to an event, there's meetup events in most major cities and towns and countries. If you can't afford to come to the U.S., if you're from overseas, guaranteed there's some meetup events that you can find and connect with probably a smaller number of people in your hometown or in your near where you live. So these are things that you owe to yourself to do, to unstick your thinking, to get the cobwebs out of your brain, and to start thinking about, hey, I've been banging my head against the wall trying to do this for how many months, and you just happen to be talking to somebody where you're both getting a cup of coffee or something, and the same, the guy says to you, what are you working on? And you say, I'm having a problem with this. He says, oh yeah, I had that problem too, and this is how I solved it.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got the solution right there. And you didn't even go to the event trying to learn that. I mean,
can I jump in there?
Sure.
Yes. That brings up a great story. When I was at the Mario event, anybody here remember our first Perking Up Profits guest, Zane Miller? He did an awesome show that showed Google Hangouts, and he's created a wonderful continuity Google groups and such. Well, the cool thing about Zane was Zane came up to me and said he had heard about me, and we ended up, I believe, talking, I think like it was around 1 in the morning in the hotel bar at the Mario event, and we just chatted. We got to know each other. We talked about our marketing ideas, and the whole idea for doing that particular Perking Up Profits show, that was sparked just by that conversation at 1 in the morning. As after we came back to our respective houses from that event, we connected again. We put it all together, and yeah, that is how that show came to be in my group. And it all started from the conversation that we had at the hotel bar at 1 in the morning. Events are places where you can meet up, you can make that connection with the people you admire, with the people that can help grow your business, with the people that you can help grow their business as well too. I mean, it is a total win-win scenario, because remember, okay, we're all beginners at one point. I was a beginner. Dennis was a beginner. We might have a number of beginners here on this show, but we're not beginners all the time. And if you put yourself out now, and 6 months, a year or so later on, you have taken it to the next level, well, guess what? You're not just a fan. You're now a colleague. You are then put in the position to benefit the people from whom you want to learn today. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So excellent. Other questions and ideas? Let me scroll up here and let me now move this away from my shared application, and we're still showing that. Yay. Okay. And let me see. And please do feel free to type your questions in the bottom. Judy mentions you get lots and lots of sunshine in Vegas. Yes. And you can also choose to walk outside and have a walk to the Buffets a mile away or so. And that's something that I was considering until my ankle decided to treat me poorly again. And Val says that paid membership is an unbelievable, amazing deal. Thank you, Val. You're totally correct on that. And what else do we have here? Okay, Andrea wants to know, how do you create that particular Facebook page? If you scroll up, Andrea, in the chat, you'll see I dropped the link of how to create a Facebook list. And what else do we have here? Okay. Andrea mentions that she had done T-shirts for trade shows when she's in Germany. Good stuff, good stuff. Right, Val mentions that being a bit embarrassed to go to an event because she's still so newbie-ish. And oh, that is a wonderful point to bring up, because remember, we have all at one point been newbies, and guaranteed. The fact that you choose to go to an event, you've catapulted yourself out of newbie status, because newbies don't go to events. Newbies, for the most part, they say, I have nothing to share, I'm not going to go. But when they take or give themselves permissions to go ahead and attend here, you can then mentally think of yourself, okay, I was newbie in the past, but now I am now one of those 1% of marketers who takes the efforts to go there. You've already set yourself apart. Judy brings up that the Earn 1K a Day event is one of the friendliest events for newbies out there. And yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. I mean, heck, the Earn 1K a Day community is extraordinarily friendly for all sorts of people, beginners, experienced. Very, 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 very encouraging. So,
hey, thank you, Judy, very much.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to say about our event, I've been to not a lot of events, but I've been to events that had over 500 people. I've been to events that had 200 or 300 people, and our events are nowhere near that large.
That's
we'll
true.
have fewer than 100 people, so the registration is fairly limited, so I don't expect we'll exceed it, but we could. And that gives people an opportunity to get to know everybody. When I was at the event that had over 500 people, a Ryan Dice event, I had no way of getting to even talk to the people that I wanted to talk to. I couldn't even find them. I mean, the room was so huge. And in ours, everybody can basically go to the same restaurant for breakfast or lunch or dinner.
Maryland's.
And we're all there. And, you know, Maryland's or the Mexican cafe or whatever. And so considering that you're going to be probably making contact with everybody there, including the power speakers, the Jason Fladlands, the Will Matos, the Gene Pimentos, the Barb Lings, everybody there, Connie Reagan-Green, you're going to be talking to those people, and you're going to have an opportunity to at least for 5 or 10 minutes or even more, share things with them and learn what they're about and learn what they're like as a person. And again, they'll be getting to know you. And one thing I would recommend before you even go, I mean, lately I haven't even been bothering to take a business card, because I know that business cards get filed away in a wallet or a purse or whatever and never resurrected until 18 months later. But one thing you want to do is you want to come up with your elevator pitch. If somebody's going to invariably come up to you and say, they're going to look at your name tag and say, hello, Dennis, or hello, Barb, or hello, whoever, what do you do? And you want to be able to answer that somewhat coherently. And that's going to be the first opportunity they get to know you. And whether you're an introvert, whether you're a newbie, or whether you're the most experienced person on the face of the earth, that's going to, again, set you apart from people that aren't there, because you're an action taker. You've got out of your seat in your office or in your home office or wherever, and you've made the commitment to go to an event. You've gotten on a plane or you drove, and you're in a hotel room, and you're actually there, and you're trying to move your business forward, and people respect that. So, yeah, get that elevator pitch ready before you go, and be sure to use it, and don't be afraid to walk up to people and say, "Hi, I'm so and so. What are you doing lately? What's the project that you're working on now?" Or if you're talking to a speaker, what are you talking about tomorrow? Will or Gene or Barb or whoever. Get to know them, and they're going to get to know you.
Yep, very good advice. You can find the hotel gym, the restaurants at which to network, and join the impromptu gatherings. Sit in the lobby, chat with everybody. It's opportunities that you just don't get in your other aspects of real life, okay, because you're not all put together in one particular location. But here, and especially at one of the events like there in 1K a Day, which is a smaller event, it's a more intimate event, and yeah, you get to meet anybody there who you would like. Judy mentions the swimming pools, and oh yes, the there's also the gambling in Vegas as well, the slot machines, which always laugh at me, so I make sure to go instead for the coffee there. But other questions? We still have a number of people on this call here. Any questions that you might have about events, about networking, about waking up at 4 in the morning, getting yourself known, and the buffets that are good to attend? Let's see. Judy mentions the MGM buffet. Yes, we did go to that. And yes, Val brings up Chippendales. Chippendales, very good indeed. And all the shows, all of the camaraderie. It's a wonderful, life-changing event going to something like this. So let's see. We have other questions. And let's see. Okay, there was a request to drop the link again for how to create the Facebook list. It's facebook.com/add list. The way that you do that, visit the event page itself, which is askbeeling.com/E1K2013. Find out all the speakers, go to Facebook, create a list, add all the speakers, add all their pages, and then bam, you have a way now to network with everybody during the 2, 3, 4 weeks before the event happens. And other questions? I do know that since the event is at the same place, which is at the Tuscany, I believe that's Tuscany, right,
Yep.
Dennis?
Yep.
Yep. The rooms there, they're not just rooms, they're the suites, correct?
Correct. All
Yep.
suites.
Yep, so all suites. So you have a room, and then you have kind of like this living room thingy, and this walk-in huge bathroom thingy, which I remember. It was very different.
And
Yeah, very
all
different
sorts
from
all sorts of nice things, a couch and a desk. And
Yep, and internet
it's a great
connectivity.
hotel.
So, yep, it's definitely a very enjoyable, very business-friendly, very life-changing thingy. And Judy brings up not all that expensive for all that either. Yeah, the price is there. That's considering what other places charge, total no-brainer. And I'm just scrolling up over here and seeing here.
All right, yeah, there is a block of rooms that we get a special rate for at the Tuscany. It's not. It doesn't look like as great a rate as you might get any better than if you went to Expedia.com or whatever. But what they do is they don't charge you the resort fee, which I think is $10 or $12 or $14 a night if you're in our block of rooms. So you get that for free, and that gives you access to the fitness room and the Wi-Fi in the lobby and some other things.
Yeah.
They charge you for coupon books normally. If you're paying that $10 or $12 a night. They give you a coupon book so that you can get to spend more money in the casino if you want to, or something like that. So you tend not to we're going to keep you pretty busy anyway. I mean, you may want to go to the casino, just to say you were there, but we'll keep you pretty busy.
Yes, just to unwind there. I remember walking through that. Very character building. Okay. Other questions? All right. As far as times that people arrive at events, most of the time, a lot of the times, or, well, it all depends who it is. Let's say an event starts on a Friday. People will sometimes arrive on a Thursday and often arrive the day before that, so they're all prepared for when everybody arrives for the day before the event. I know that I am arriving, I believe, on a Wednesday, and I am departing on the Monday afterwards. And I made that mistake the first event I went. That was the Warrior event. I got there on a Friday. Okay, that was good, but I left on Sunday. And the event didn't end until Sunday night. And I should have left the following Monday, which now all of the events that I attend, I do stay that evening because the parties that are always in the hotel lobby or the hotel bar or the get-togethers where you can do your one last connection with all of the power marketers, it's gold. It really is. It's just something that makes, it just makes your career grow. So, yeah, I always tend to get there early, and then I leave the day late. Larry just mentioned the same. Arrive there a day early, leave there a day later. Yep, good stuff.
Right, and our event is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you want to get there no later than Thursday. Especially if you're coming from the East Coast, you want to get over that jet lag before Friday starts. Because like I mentioned before, Friday is going to be a really intensive day. It's going to be a full day of group mastermind, and then we're going to have a group lunch, and there's also going to be a group meet and greet that's going to go until 11 o'clock, or actually that's when they shut down the bar, but the people tend to stay later than that. So you're going to get up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock.
Even sooner at 4 o'clock if you bar, and you go to bed at at midnight or so. So it's going to be a full day. So you want to get there at least a day early and just get ready, just get well rested and get yourself together. I'll be there Wednesday, but I'm telling people that ask me when should I get there, I tell them to get there on Thursday.
Yeah, the thing that I always remember whenever I go to these East Coast events, the time change is 3 hours beforehand, and yeah, I normally like saying that I go to sleep at midnight, and midnight for me is 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Western Standard Time, or Pacific Time, or whatever it is they call it. And so as you can imagine, it's very character building, but again, because I've branded myself that I always go to bed at a rather early hour, whenever I can then post on my Facebook page that, yes, I am awake, it gets a lot of good comments and a lot of discussions then when I meet up with people at the event as well, too. It's all about branding yourself. It's all about those little extra things that you do that make people take notice of you and want to connect and want to talk with you. Art mentioned he goes 2 days before, spend time seeing the area because you're sure to be tired after the event. Wow, that's quite the concept to see the area. I think that of all the events I've gone to, I have not gone out except for when I've gone to network with everybody. That's a neat concept. Enjoy the time that you're there. Good point there. So missed a lot. All right, Art. This time I will not miss a lot. Although, wait. No, that was during the event, Judy, not before the event started. Because during the event, yes, I did go with Judy to the MGM buffet. And that was a lot of fun because we took a van, or not a taxi. Think of a minivan that was bigger than a minivan, but was with the taxi kind of characteristics. And we had all of our reality TV play out in front of us. That was a very interesting time. There was a rather ended up being a somewhat violent individual coming onto the bus that got put off of the bus, and we got to watch all of it. So that was an interesting character building time on the all-day bus. Then we got to go at other times to the buffet. Folks went to the events, the evening, the shows. Vegas has lots and lots of all-day shows. So yeah, it was something that I have not forgotten. This happened last year, right, Dennis?
Yep.
So, and it has just made memories and connections, and yeah, great stuff indeed.
So we'll do it again.
Yep. And I'm going to be there, and my ankle is not going to collapse. I have spoken.
Yeah, we broke Barb last year.
Yeah, that was also fun as well. I was a speaker, and then on the last day, then when I was scheduled to leave, my ankle decided to fall off, and that led into the whole me getting my ankle fused later on. It was something that was building up for years and years and years, made it memorable. Wouldn't have changed a thing. That was the first time I returned to speaking. I used to speak in front of audiences all around the country. This was 10 years ago or so. And indeed, I'm very grateful to Dennis for having me there. It was a wonderful opportunity. I gave a talk about kicking fate in the right direction, and that was just one of the 15 talks that Dennis had there. So a lot of excellent opportunities for a lot of high quality learning. And while I'm scrolling, Dennis, if there's anything else that you would like to bring up before.
No, I think I've said my piece.
Cool. Alrighty. And let's see here.
I'm watching the questions too. I think you've covered most of them.
I think so. I think so indeed. So, and okay.
Judy wants another link.
Uh,
Facebook link.
I mentioned the Facebook link. Are you talking about the link to create a list, Judy? Okay, let me share. I'll assume that's what you're mentioning. Okay, the link for creating. That is the link to create a list of facebook.com/add list. And then the link then for the event itself, E1K 2013. And Art just also mentions what is acceptable and not acceptable at an event, if anything comes to mind. First thing I would say that is just really non-optimal, go up to people and say, here's how you're going to help me. Do you have anything to add to that, Dennis?
No, you just want to treat people like, let's say you were going to a barbecue at somebody's house, and you know, you were a guest in their house, and you know, how would you act? You know, you wouldn't want to get all rowdy, and you wouldn't want to make them feel bad. You wouldn't want to get thrown out of their house. You just want to make people like you. So, you know, tell them what you do if they ask, and you know, listen. Listening is always good.
Listening is very, very, very good. And
go ahead.
Yeah, Art also mentions things like cameras, laptops. Yeah, it's generally considered very poor taste if you start taking pictures of people's slides.
Yeah, cameras I would say no, because especially if there's a flash, but people do have laptops in the room. There aren't a lot of places to plug in your laptop, but if you have it recharged, then that's okay.
Yep, that's always good. Or bring a portable charger, or bring extension cables. That reminds me, I need to remember to tell the husband to pack the extension cable this time. So, yeah. And I think that we have all of the links there that we've shared. And I think that we have covered just about everything that was asked. Again, if you have any questions, please do drop them in. Art just did manage to drop that. And let's see. Melsina writes that she doesn't have the ability to go to this event, but we have given her the frame of mind to dig into an idea that she has for an app that might bring in some income. Oh, that's wonderful. I love hearing things like that, because anything that provides that spark, I mean, that is just an excellent, excellent thing as well. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. That very much appreciated. And alrighty. So Dennis, are we just about done here?
I am.
Okay, very good. Alrighty then. I'd like to then thank all of you who have chosen to come onto our show here, and especially Dennis, I want to thank you for coming on and being the 6th guest for our Perking Up Profit show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure indeed as well. As always, it has been an honor and a privilege to be able to be in front of all of you today and to share this information. So with that, I will bring this now to a close. And this is Barbara Ling and Dennis Becker, and we will see you on the inside. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.